Hello, everybody. This is a program called Canva, or a website actually called Canva, and it is basically a one-stop shop for graphic design needs, and you can create lots of different things with this web application. It's got all kinds of options for you. They've got templates, they've got photos that are free. Most of them are free. Some of them you have to pay for, but we're not going to do that. If you look down below here, we've got all these templates that they've already got here for you, infographics, posters. You can do video on this as well, presentations, Instagram posts, logos, Facebook, invitation, all these things. I mean, there's lots and lots of stuff here. This is a great website. And I like this website a lot because it kind of takes a lot of the mystery out of designing. And that's not to say that designing is super easy. You still have to know, some fundamental things like what we're going to talk about today is hierarchy. So if we look at poster design, for instance, that poster that they had, I want to see, they have that one. It's a really nice pink. Don't see it. Okay. Anyway, we'll take a look at this one here. So in terms of hierarchy, hierarchy means that there is a order in which we look at the information and things that stand out to us the most readily, the things that pop out to us the quickest are the most important. So we have this right here, this box right here. Here's where all our text is. Congrats on your new job. That is sort of the declaration statement there. So that's the biggest and the biggest piece of text anyway. And we've got these graphics that also stand out. And you'll notice that each one of these things is selectable. You can move them around. That's pretty cool. Also notice that these things are going off the page, which is interesting, and it's also kind of going in a diagonal, kind of leading our eye down here and then to here. So that's something to keep in mind when you're creating a poster. If you're doing the poster project, you do not have to have everything fit neatly inside of your dimensions of your poster. It could be nicer if you have some things going off the edge. So great news is smaller, but it is kind of next in terms of the size. And then drinks and food around us, even smaller than that. And then even smaller than that is this information down here. I think this is a nice poster. I think I would probably, everything here is left aligned or left justified. I might make all of this caps as well. I don't know why this is, I guess I would put that on the second line, but maybe all caps for this as well. So that is a nice example of hierarchy. We've got some nice negative space around this whole thing as well. When you're making a poster, it's nice to have negative space or space between that exists in between either text or image. So this one is fine. This is a little on the simple side, but we can see class of 2020 is the biggest, and then Barbara Thomas is the next largest, and then we've got congratulations up here, and then we've got the university down here. That's not my favorite. Let me see if we can go down here. This is a neat one. Indoor cycling. That is nice and big. And we've got some diagonals going on here. And you can also rotate these things too. I believe you can make them smaller. So I could rotate them. Yeah, rotate down here. There you go. You can rotate these things around. I like what they had. It was pretty good. So those are just some examples that you could take a look at to get started. What you could do though, when you're starting your project, is you go up to, after you sign in, here's me right here, create a design, and then you can do, if you're doing the poster project, you do this. If you do the infographic project, you can go here. But you click on that, and we have our templates here, but what I mean, I don't want you to just use a template, because that is not going to be as interesting. I want to see what you create, but there's all kinds of stuff here that you can use depending on what kind of poster or infographic you want to create. There's all these different elements here. There's a lot of stuff. Let me see here. I'm going to just take this guy. Most of these are free, and you know, we can resize that. Actually, don't like that as much. I'm gonna do, I just deleted that. What else we got here? I'll use these mountains. Okay. And we'll make these guys. These actually look like pencil tops almost. I wonder if I can make something that looks like a pencil. I probably can. Let's see. These guys kind of look like pencils. Maybe not. Maybe I could take, I wonder if I could take the top off of that. Probably. Well, anyway, let's see. I could do photos, text, shapes. We use some shapes. I can make these guys look like pencils. And then maybe make that color a little different. And if you want to change the color, you can go up to this right here. And then you can add a new color. I don't see the colors that I want really here, so I can go to new color. This is kind of neat. It shows you the document colors, like the dominant colors that are happening in your background. Right now we have a lot of white, and then we have some of this caramel kind of tan color, and then brown. So I'm going to go to maybe that. I want to go to kind of a lighter color, because I'm going to have a darker brown in the background. Okay, and then I'm going to, I wonder if alt clicking will work. Yes, alt click makes a copy, which is nice. And then I can go up to here, and I can make a new color. I'm going to make it darker color here. And if I want this to be in the foreground, I can right click. If you're using this on a desktop, you could use your mouse and you can right click. If you're using it on an iPad, I actually don't know what the command is for that, but you could also just copy. If you did copy and then delete and then paste, that would work too. But I'm going to bring this forward. There we go. And maybe create a little bit of white space in between there, actually. Do that. I guess I didn't need to bring it forward. Okay. All right. Okay. And then I'm going to take all this stuff and then move it off the screen. I think I'll eventually do something with that, but I'm going to add some text in now. And you can see that we have a nice sort of preview here of what these all look like, all these fonts. And there's quite a few of them. There's not as much as you might find in Photoshop, but there's quite a few. I like this one. Let me go with this guy. This is a free font, which is nice. Yep, and when you click on it, it actually dumps it right in there for you. The art box design proposal. I think I'll just keep that. So this has already got this sense of hierarchy here. We've got design proposal, which is nice and big, and then the art box, which is, and also project for Maxwell Link, which is a little bit smaller. These things are separate. Yes, you can. Oops. Move them around. I think you can rotate them if you wanted to. I think that works best though, like that. You can put let's see what else. We have other elements, background. For this particular piece, I don't think it needs a crazy background. Nothing too busy. That's one of the things I want to talk about. Like, okay, if we did this, obviously we can't read the text. It's blended. Everything's blending in now, and not in a good way. So you want to avoid stuff like this. Obviously, we can't read any of this stuff. This is an example of what not to do. That also is not great because of the way that the colors clash here. And it doesn't really, the background does not really, I think, fit with what we're trying to do. If this is like a design company, the colors are just not working. This one is a little better. I would probably change the font color to white if we're going to use something like this. But even better would be something like that, where it's nice and bright now, and then you can really see that color coming through there. I'm not 100% on this actual background. I still think white might be better, or something like that. That's not too bad. But we have so many different choices here. It's kind of overwhelming, actually. But I would say, oh, this is kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't really like how these lines go through here. That's interesting. So I have not actually seen any of these guys. Futuristic experience, okay. All right, so I'm gonna try, what I want to do is try to see if we can apply a filter to this background to give it a little bit more of a muted tone. So let's see, yeah, so that, okay, so that lightens it up. So, you know, you can really do a lot of playing around with these things. And it's, again, it's not as robust as Photoshop, but I like how accessible this web app is. It's pretty simple to use. Adjust, oh yeah, look at all that. So, there's quite a lot of, actually there's quite a lot of control that you have here. You can flip, yeah, flip vertical and horizontal. We're not gonna really deal with videos, but that's how you bring in background, text, and elements. You could also use photos if you want. They have some stock photos, or you could actually upload your own. If you want to, here you go, uploads right here. You can get a picture that you've taken and use it. And when you're done with this, you can, it says share, but what I'd rather have you do is hit download, which makes a PDF. And then if I hit download, it says preparing your design. I had a quote there by one of the most famous graphic designers ever, Milton Glaser. So there it is. Little piece of promotional material there. Let's say if you wanted to print it, you could, but we're not going to do that. So it actually put it down here in my downloads, and that is what you would turn in, okay? So that is about it. I hope you have fun with this. Try it out, play around with it, see what you can create, and I'd love to see what you come up with for this, all right? So that is about it. Let me know if you have any questions.